How is it going, Databases? No Data here, and welcome back to Roblox. Not any particular Roblox game, because we are actually doing a top 10 list. We are counting down the top 10 Roblox games of all time. So I'm just going to be counting down the top 10 Roblox games. And first of all, so that we're all on the same page, this is my opinion. All right, just so you guys know, this is my opinion. If you do not have the same opinion, that sucks. But not much I can do about that. But you know, if you want to look at the actual like top 10 games in terms of like visits and stuff, I guess you can look it up. But this is just my opinion. If it wasn't my opinion, then obviously everybody knows Jailbreak would be number one, because everybody goes to Jailbreak these days. So yeah, you might not agree with my opinions, and you'll probably see some games that you probably never even heard of before. And the reason for that is just my favorite games are usually the ones that are very memorable and like stick with me. Like, alright, I'll say that Roblox is my favorite game of all time. Just overall, Roblox is my favorite game. But the only reason it's my favorite game is because of the memories that I've made through Roblox. Like, I've been on Roblox for 6 years, and just a lot has happened back then. First of all, I made a YouTube channel off of it, and just the people I've met, you know, it's changed my life quite a bit. So that's why, you know, I consider Roblox my favorite game. Is it the best made game? Absolutely not. There's a bunch of better made games out there in terms of like game design and stuff like that, just better overall quality. But you know, Roblox has, you know, stuck with me through the years, so that's my personal favorite. But I'm well aware that there are many games better than Roblox. A lot of people would think that. But yeah, guys, we're just going to hop into the top 10 Roblox games. So without further ado, here we go. At number 10, we have Twisted Murderer by Taymaster. This is one of the many murder games on this list, and you know, this was once my favorite game of all time, but it is far from it anymore. I'll dive into that later. But you know, this has the basic murder rules, and if you don't know what that is, it's basically one person's the murderer, they're supposed to kill everybody. One person is the sheriff, he's supposed to kill the murderer, and then everybody else is innocent, they're supposed to avoid the murderer and help the sheriff. And what was cool about Twisted Murderer at the time was it had bonus rounds, and that was really freaking cool. So bonus rounds, they had a bunch of things like murder madness, or whatever it is, and everybody was the murderer. Showdown, everybody was the sheriff. What else was there? There was like sticks and stones, half murderer, half sheriff. It was pretty freaking cool. And you know, it used to be very, very popular in like 2014, 2015. A lot of people played it, especially me, you know. That was basically when I started just playing one game all the time. Nowadays, that is Roblox Assassin. But you know, I used to play Twisted Murderer a lot, and I got a really, really high rank. I was like rank 1000, and if you look at the gameplay right here, you'll actually see that I'm no longer rank 1000, and that is because my rank got hacked, and it was very unfortunate. I was suddenly rank 15, and there was no way to bring it back, and Taymaster never fixed it. It sucked. But yeah, honestly, the only reason this is on the list is because of how much I played it, and just because of the memories I've made. Because nowadays, I'll say this, nowadays this game sucks, alright? This game is horrible now. It is way too glitchy. There was a bunch of hackers, and overall the community is just very toxic. The Twisted Murderer community is just a bunch of trolls playing super loud music, and overall it's really freaking annoying. And the only reason it is on this list is because that I used to play it and I used to have fun with it. So I give this game that respect in that aspect, but you know, I can't play it without going insane now. Like, I can't play without ripping my hair out, and it is really unfortunate because this game is horrible now. I do not recommend this to anybody. The only reason it's on this list is because of the old days where this game was pretty good. But you know, I feel like Twisted Murderer has always had glitches. Like, literally, it has always had glitches. It's not, like, a new thing. But now it's pretty bad. Like, pretty much every map has its own glitch. And Taymaster never patches it. So, it never, you know, those glitches are just there forever. And it's pretty unfortunate, actually. Now, the old version of number 9 doesn't seem to exist anymore, like the old title and stuff, but there is a new version of number 9. So on number 9 on this list, we have Guess My Drawing by Aero Foils. I used to play this game a lot back in the day. I would just hang out, you know, just be really chill. Wasn't like anything action-packed or anything where you fight or, you know, use knives or anything. You don't fight, but it was just a cool place to hang out with some friends. And basically what would happen is one person would be drawing something, and the other people would have to watch their drawing and try to guess, and they would guess just by typing. And if they say the correct word, then whoever guessed it correctly would be able to draw the next drawing. And, you know, they would be assigned a drawing. You wouldn't be able to just draw anything. Like, for example, you would be assigned to draw a house, and then you would have to draw a house, and everybody else would have to guess what you were drawing. So, not much to it. It was just a cool little game where you could just hang out with some friends, talk and stuff, and guess some drawings. And it was pretty cool, very laid back game. It's kind of a mix, actually. Like, it's a mix. Some of the games on this list are very action packed, and some of them are pretty laid back. So, pretty interesting combination, but yeah. At number 9 is Guess My Drawing. At number 8, we have Stargate Galaxy by Ganondude. Now, this game is dead. This game is dead. Literally, nobody plays this anymore. Like, every time I look at it, there are 0 players. Except when I join, a couple of fans might join me as well. But this game was dead. But actually, at one point, this was on the popular page. It had thousands of players for a couple of days or so. And it was a pretty interesting game. Basically, you were... It was a map and had a bunch of portals to teleport you to different planets. I think it's based off of some movie or something. I don't know. I never watched the movie. But, you know, there are a bunch of planets, and you can use portals to teleport to the other planets. You could basically just play around in those planets. And in each planet, there's actually a hidden number, right? There's a hidden number. And if you found all the hidden numbers and put them together, you would actually find a hidden planet, like a secret planet, which is really freaking cool. And in that secret planet, you could actually get these ships, and once you get the ships, you can just fly around and, you know, fly between your different planets, or like shoot people down, shoot other ships down, and it was really freaking cool. And what was actually really cool is this is still a thing today, but every single day there is a new code. You know, the combination to get to the secret planet changes, so every single day you have to go between the planets and find them. The locations for the numbers don't change, but you do have to get the numbers every freaking day. And even though the game never updates, that feature is still there, which I think is pretty cool. So, you know, you can't just write down the code, you have to find it every single day. So it makes it pretty unique, except the hiding spots are the same every time, which, you know, it's kind of stale, but you know, that doesn't matter. Stargate Galaxy, it is pretty freaking cool. Not a lot of people play it, but you know, I used to play it with some friends back in the day. We just hang out, fly around, and it's sort of laid back. We could also like mess with the ships and shoot people down, and a lot of funny stuff would happen, and it is really freaking cool. You know, it was a good game to play with friends back then. At number 7, we have Survive the Disasters by Virus. This is a pretty cool game. Basically, you would be in a map. There were actually multiple maps, so like every couple minutes there would be a new map. And in that map, a bunch of random disasters would happen. A bunch of random disasters. And basically, what we would have to do is survive those disasters. Now, it's not like natural disaster survival, because those disasters are natural. They were natural disasters. In this game, they're actually pretty outlandish, frankly. You could have like a giant noob, or it could be raining pies, or a bunch of ghosts could spawn. And, you know, it's not natural disasters, it's just a bunch of random disasters. It could be a bunch of things. It could be freaking Kamehameha, shoot the whoop, like fire and lasers. It is pretty freaking insane. So, yeah, your goal is just to survive the disasters as best as you can. And if you do survive, you get a little shout out on the screen, and it is really freaking cool. So yeah, that is Survive the Disasters by Virus. Pretty cool game that I used to play with friends back in the day. At number 6, we have Mad Games by Lolorus. This is the basic murder rules, but with a bit of a twist. You know, it has bonus rounds, technically has bonus rounds, but it's pretty much completely, you know, it's not like Twisted Murder or Murder Mystery X, where like the premise is the basic murder rules, and then every now and then you'll get a bonus round. Like pretty much every round is different, and it is really freaking cool. Like there's, you know, there's Sheriff Showdown, everybody's a sheriff and all that stuff. And there was also a cat boss. That's a pretty big highlight of Mad Games. There was a cat boss where everybody would come together with knives and try to defeat a giant laser cat, and it's pretty freaking insane. Mad Games also has Spleef, which is pretty cool. and it is just overall a really cool murder game. Not much to say about it, but I used to play it a lot, quite a bit, and it is pretty well made, I must say. So you should definitely try it out if you get the chance, but obviously it's kind of old, so there are a lot of hackers. But if there's not any hackers, then it is pretty cool. There's not nearly as many glitches as Twisted Murderer, so I think that was pretty good. So yeah. Now, believe it or not, at number 5 we have Roblox High School by Cindering. Now, I know a lot of people going to judge me with Roblox High School, like, oh my god, there's just a bunch of online daters on that game. And yeah, alright, there are a bunch of online daters on that game, but you know, that's fine. You don't have to online date. If anything, if you see an online dater, you can troll with them a bit, but don't be too harsh on them. I'm not going to go into like a huge rant, but like, a lot of people freaking harass online daters, and yes, online daters, they do break the rule of Roblox, don't get me wrong, but like, people freaking harass them and insult them freaking inappropriately, and like, you're kind of just fighting fire with fire, and in the end, it just ends up in flames. You know, the whole place ends up in flames, and you know, people just harass them like horribly. And, you know, it is good to troll with them and mess with them and kind of tell them, hey, online dating is against the rules, but, like, don't be completely mean, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I'm not going to get too much into that, but I like Roblox High School. I'm not an online dater or anything, but I do like Roblox High School just because I used to hang out there a lot with some friends, you know. Roblox High School, back in the day, there used to be a lot more online daters, but nowadays, there's just a bunch of people just hanging out. There are a couple of online daters on a couple servers, but most of it is actually just a bunch of friends hanging out, which I think is pretty cool. It's super chill. You go to Club Red and just listen to some music with friends, and it is a pretty cool game, and just troll a couple of online daters in the process, because, you know, why not? But yeah, I used to play this game a lot. I played it a lot over the years, so that is why it is on this list. It is pretty cool. You can just hang out and have a lot of fun with friends. So yeah, you should definitely check this game out if you're interested, because you can just hang out, listen to music, go to school if you want, but there's really not much happens when you go to school, so it's really not that interesting. And I know there are a lot of better like role-playing games out there. I know there are some like high school type games that are a lot better, but again, I like games that really stick with me. They're very memorable. I remember them a lot, and that is Roblox High School for me. So yeah. At number 4, we have Murder Mystery 2 by Nikilis. This is yet another murder game. It doesn't have any bonus rounds, which is unfortunate, but Murder Mystery 2 has a very diverse economy. Alright guys, there is a really good economy. You know, there is a bunch of limited knives that you can't get anymore, and you know, you can open cases to get some really rare knives. Like, there's a 1% chance you can open some rare knives, and there's even a knife that people got from a glitch, and it is super rare. It is called Corrupt Knife, and there is even a knife that replaces Batwing. So if you had Batwing, you actually get a common called Glitch, which is pretty interesting. It's not on the value list, but I've seen it before, and I've talked about it before, and it's pretty freaking interesting. But yeah, Murder Mystery 2, very good game. It's a basic murder game, but it has a really good economy. You can trade with people and just try your best to make some profit and get some really cool knives. The thing about Murder Mystery 2 is that it doesn't really update anymore. I've gotten into this before, but it really doesn't update at all, which is a shame, because I feel like it deserves a lot more updates, because, you know, a lot of glitches happen, and it is really freaking unfortunate. So hopefully Nikilis comes back to this game and updates it a little bit more. At number 3, we have Jailbreak by Asimo3089 and badcc. This is probably one of the most popular games to ever exist on Roblox. It is still booming. There's still thousands upon thousands of concurrent players. It's recently reached 1 billion visits under 1 year, which is really freaking insane. Like, that is so many visits, guys. That is so many freaking visits. I really don't know any other games that have 1 billion visits. Like, that is really freaking insane. And a lot of people say that it's overrated. Like, what's so special about this game? What's so amazing about it? All you do is break out of jail and then do some robberies, and there's really not much else to do. And, you know, I kind of agree with that in some sense, but you know, I did give it a try, and I understand why a lot of people play it. Just overall, it is really addicting. Like, it is really addicting to try to break out of jail and then do some robberies. It is a really good prison game. You know, there's a lot of games like that, like where you escape the prison, but in this one, you make some robberies. You don't just escape the jail. You make robberies after you do that, and it's really addicting in that sense, you know, in my opinion at least. Like, when people arrest me, I really want to break out of jail as soon as possible and make some money. What I also like about this game is just there's a lot to do in it when you really use your imagination. There's just a little bit of everything, guys. There's a little bit of everything. You know, if you want to fight people, you can find some cops and shoot them. If you want to make some money, you can go rob some banks. If you want to get some cool cars, you can save up some money. If you want to get cool skins for those cars, you can open cases. So that's like the thing with Murder Mystery and Assassin, you can open cases. And if you want to just roleplay, you totally can. You can just hang out. If you hide and seek is an idea, you just play hide and seek. So on the surface, it looks like you can't do much. You just break out and all you do is just rob the three same things. But when you really use your imagination, there's a lot to do, and the whole game is just addicting. So do I think it deserves the best game of all time? Probably not. I feel like some games would be better well made, but you know, I do see why a bunch of people play it. It is a very well made game. You know, CMO and badcc, they've worked very hard making this game, and it is very well made, very polished. So yeah, very good game, and that is number 3 on the list. At number 2, we have Murder Mystery X by Murder Mystery Prestiges. This is basically, in my opinion, a better version of Murder Mystery 2. Honestly, this is just a better version of Murder Mystery 2 to me. It's got the basic murder rules and stuff like that. You can open cases, and you know, it doesn't have nearly as a good economy. But the thing about Murder Mystery X, it's a very new game. And Murder Mystery 2 is very old. So yeah, at the moment, Murder Mystery 2 has a better economy. But I've seen the updates that Murder Mystery X has been making, and I can definitely tell that in the future, Murder Mystery X is going to have a very diverse economy, guys. It's going to be very interesting. There are going to be a lot of rare knives in the future. A good example is permafrost, alright? There are only 50 permafrosts in the entire game, which is really freaking amazing, guys, not going to lie. And, you know, they're just doing a bunch of things. They're doing very short events to get some really rare knives in there, and they're making bundles, and they're making those bundles limited, so they're making those knives very, very rare. And give it about a year or so, and this game will have a very good economy, guys. They'll have a very good economy. There are going to be so many rare knives. So it's pretty much going to be the same as Murder Mystery 2, but better. I feel like it's just more polished. It's not nearly as glitchy as Murder Mystery 2. There are bonus rounds in it, so it's basically Murder Mystery 2 with bonus rounds. It just overall very... It's much better than Murder Mystery 2, and Murder Mystery 2 still has better players, which is pretty insane. I feel like you guys really check out Murder Mystery X if you have not done so already. And now we're just going to get number 1 over with. If you guys are subscribers to this channel, you already know what number 1 is. If you just check the channel, if you check the videos on this channel, you already know what number 1 is. It is Assassin by Prisman. So, you know, it's kind of like a murder game, but it's not quite the same. Basically, you have a target, and you can only kill that specific target. And the thing is, another person, you're the target of another person. So another person's going after you, and you're going after a different person, and that happens until the last man standing wins. And it's pretty interesting, but what's cool about it is that it has a very good economy. There are a bunch of exotics and mythics, bunch of unobtainable exotics that are worth a bunch from a bunch of past events. There are a bunch of cool mythics you can unbox. There are very hard knives to craft, like the dream knives. You need like 3 mythics to craft a dream, and then 3 dreams make a dream walker. It is pretty freaking insane. So those knives are really hard to get, and you know, I like this game because of what it has done for me. Like, honestly, I have accomplished so much on this game. I've made so many memories, and I made a YouTube channel for Assassin along with some other games, but it really did start with Assassin. So if it wasn't for Assassin, I really wouldn't have this YouTube channel that I have today. And you know, it's a really good game, honestly. So I really think you guys should check it out if you haven't done so already. We do some giveaways on Roblox Assassin along with Murder Mystery X and Murder Mystery 2 on occasion, but it's mainly Assassin. So you guys can enter some giveaways if you want. We're actually doing a Dream Walker giveaway at the moment. But yeah, guys, it is really cool. Roblox Assassin. You guys should check it out if you haven't done so. And that is my favorite Roblox game of all time. And that is it for the video, guys. Let me know what your favorite Roblox games are down in the comments, because I know not everybody's going to agree with me. And let me know what you guys think. Again, if you don't agree with me, that stinks. But let me know in the comments what you guys think about these Roblox games. And that's pretty much going to be it for this video, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all those other things that YouTube people do. And I will see you guys in the next video. Toodles!